I'm gonna go back to 1991. The reason why is because I want to play this video of me when I bought this receiver. It's funny because I came to remember this specific day. This was in the middle of December. So yeah, and I bought the receiver because I liked the way it looked and everything. And there's a box of it right there. Yeah, I just bought it and stuff. I had bought that receiver. And then it was like in the next couple days later, I decided to buy a matching tape deck. And I paid $400 for the receiver. $400, and that was $1991. And then I paid $250 for this tape deck. I went with the best one because I felt like I deserved the best of everything, because I felt like my life was going good at the time because I was going to get a settlement from the accident that I got on my scooter. If you want to watch this video, it's called December 1991, and it's on my playlist, so if you want to watch this. And then I have the remote for that receiver, yeah. Remember, I paid $700 for the two things, and $1991 too. So yeah, this is me today. So I went ahead and I found this one on eBay for $130 and everything. There's the box of it. I bought it because it came with the box and everything, and it even had the remote control. I bought this on eBay. I just put the box in this Mercury because I don't really have a place for it at the moment. So yeah. So anyway, speaking of which, the video I'm playing, I'm remembering, I brought me back to memories. This is the receiver that I'm talking about. Because this is exactly the one that I had in that video in 1991. Exactly the receiver. It's in the STR AV970. It's exactly like the one that I had. And I bought it because, it came with the remote. I'm talking about, I bought this one specifically because it had the box and it was complete. Because otherwise I probably would not have bought it. Because it wouldn't be the feel. This receiver. So it's a 19. This one was advertised to have let me see. This one was advertised to have 100 watts per channel, and it had surround sound and a built-in equalizer and everything, and it was like an audio video control center, they call it. They called it this, but it had all these functions, that we could hook up. It was video 1, video 2, and then tape 1, and then a DAT player, the digital audio tape, CD, and then tuner and phono. Well, at the time when I started building my system, my stereo, and when I bought my first tape deck, or when I bought my tape deck, and then later on I bought the equalizer, and then I went for a CD player. And I'll show you the CD player that I had at the time. This is the receiver that I bought on eBay. Yeah, I got this one. This is the one that I bought. And it's funny because I bought it around the same time that I bought the receiver back in 1991 too. It's funny, huh? It was exactly the same time too. Only it was 1991. As far as I know, this is a CD player that I had at the time. And I distinctively remember that it had a lot of fancy controls on it, and I love the fancy screen, I love the fancy displays. That's one of the reasons why I bought it too. I paid $350 at the time, and it was a floor model. That was 1991. Later on, I bought it in 1992. Anyway, I bought a floor model in 1992, but I didn't get one, but I don't have one right now. But so at the time when I bought this receiver in 1991, I it's like, it's funny. I bought the receiver because originally I bought the receiver so that way I can amplify an old stereo that I had, because I used to use this Pioneer receiver to amplify the sound of my old shelfer. I mean, that's what I was doing it. That's what I was using those receivers for at the time. And so I was originally buying this receiver back in 1991 to do the same thing because the amplifier broke, and so I needed a new. But then when I bought this one, it's all nice and fancy and stuff, and it kind of looks ugly on the. I mean, like the shelfer stereo looks ugly to go with this, and so I decided that I wanted to just go ahead and. I just decided to just start building it up from the bottom up, and so I did. I mean, and then later on, I bought the tape deck as you saw it on the video, and then a couple months later, later on, I bought the equalizer, and then I bought the and then I got the how I call it, and then I bought the CD player and stuff. And then I built it up completely, spending $1,500 total, like over the next few months. So yeah, I mean, anyway, well, for this video, it's just mostly the receiver and this a thrift store find. I just happened to find this tape deck at the thrift store the other day. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, this one was advertised to be 100 watts per channel. And then all the times when the digital audio tape, and then I had thoughts about buying a DAT player because I wanted to be cool and have all the cool stuff, like, I mean, I loved stereo equipment back then. I still love equipment right now. I mean, anyway, so I do know that, I mean, like later on, so. And there's the remote control that it has, and it can control tape decks too. I mean, it can control everything. Like, well, it was able to control the CD player if we had one, and the cassette player. It'll operate this tape deck. I mean, yeah, this remote will operate this. So yeah, I mean, then here's the back of the receiver. I mean, so yeah, I mean, and then the speaker hookups and everything. But now about the tape deck. This tape player, this is a TCWR 535. Because I remember later on, this is not the same model as the one that I showed on the video. But this is another model. Like, this is from 1993. But then, the thing was, like, later on, after I had bought 2 tape decks total, in 1992, like a few years later, like I updated to a tape deck that was exactly like this one, and because I liked the display on this one better than I did of the other tape deck that I had. So yeah, I mean, so there's this. So I mean, am I rebuilding my whole system? Well, only if I can get it cheap. I want to get an equalizer though. I want to get an equalizer. If I can find a vintage equalizer, or at least an equalizer that I had back then, if I could find one for pretty cheap, I would like to do it. I mean, otherwise, I mean, I probably would just go for just any newer equalizer. I don't care. I mean, I just love stuff like this. So yeah, I mean, well, about this tape deck, I mean, I bought this tape deck for $20 at the Goodwill, but it was not working. This tape deck was not working because the belts, it's the same thing with the camcorder. Like my VHS camcorders, the belts were all melted away. I mean, they're all melted away and stuff. So, I mean, I had to get into it and replace all the belts, clean it up and replace all the belts. But now after I replaced it, now it's perfect now. The tape player works perfectly now. And then the auto reverse works. I mean, well, it's not perfectly 100% perfect, but it's like at least maybe 95% perfect, And so I just never liked these finicky I never liked these like finicky computer controlled mechanisms, you know. Like that's the way it was on the 1991 model tape player that I had. I never really liked that. I mean, it's what I got. I mean, but what the thing that's good about it, I guess, is because you could operate these remotely. I mean, I suppose. But anyway, well, this tape player, like I say, is from 1993. And of course, there's receivers from 1991. And then this is where I want to buy those Klipsch speakers. Those I want to buy these bookshelf speakers because I don't want any floor standing speakers. I really don't have room for those. I mean, I just want some simple bookshelf speakers. I'll do that whenever. I'm not in any hurry. I mean, just do that whenever. I mean, but I would try to find a good used one instead of new because it's really expensive to buy them new. Like $300 for just like these little bookshelf speakers, some quality ones, you know, like I want some good ones. I mean, so I could expect to pay maybe like, well, new, if I was going to buy them new, $300. But I mean, I could find, if I look around, I could probably get them for like $150 for a good used one. So anyway, so that's my little review about this receiver and my little story behind it. And then I felt pretty cool because they were using my stereo equipment, like my new stereo, to dance, to do their little dances in the Christmas that I had in that year. Yeah, I mean, they were like using my stereo, and I felt pretty cool. But apparently, I could not really exactly like show that. I could not exactly tell them, you know, that no one was gonna exactly know that it's mine, you know. But I mean, anyways, well, that's my little story. So I hope you liked this story of my receiver. I guess this is now considered a vintage items now. But I mean, they still sell receivers right now. I mean, in stores, they still sell receivers that look like these. I mean, although they're not as fancy as this display over here and all that stuff. But I mean, they still sell receivers right now. I mean, but they don't sell tape decks today. But I mean, this is considered vintage now. I mean, it's a straight out vintage. It's almost like 35 years old now. I mean, yeah, it'll be 1991. So it is 34 years old. It's 34 years old. I mean, or 33 to be exact, because I bought it in December 91. But I mean, if it was December, well, yeah, 33 years old. It's a 33-year-old. So it's a vintage. I mean, so yeah. Well, I hope you liked this video. Today it's December, how we call it, 30th, 2024. So, alright, I hope you liked this video. Alright. Yeah, I was playing some of my old cassettes, by the way. I'll show you some of my old cassettes. This is like some of the things that voices. And then, and then song side. Song side. 4th of July, 1985. I mean, yeah. So, well, I'm going to turn it off now. Okay.